This is a regular meeting agenda of the governing body of the Borough of Bloomingdale, Tuesday, July 15, 2025 at 7 p.m. Call this meeting to order by the salute to the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor D'Amato,
Here.
Councilman Rockford,
Present.
Councilman Catalano,
Here.
Councilman Graziano,
Here.
Councilwoman Hudson, here, Councilwoman Schubert,
Here.
Councilman Yasi,
Here. We also have our administrative assistant, Amy Greenspan, business administrator, Michael Sondenmeyer, and borough attorney, Paul Sullivan. This meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Law. Adequate notice of this meeting was advertised in the Herald News on January 9, 2025. Copies were provided to the local news media and posted continuously in the municipal building. A copy of this notice is available to the public and on file in the office of the municipal clerk. As per state fire code, I am required to acknowledge that there are two emergency exits in this council chambers. The main entrance you enter through and a secondary exit to the left of where I am seated. If there is an emergency, walk orderly to the exit through the doors, down the stairs, and out the building. If there's any questions, please raise your hand. Seeing none, I need a motion to authorize the administrative assistant, Amy Greenspan, to temporarily serve as municipal clerk for this council meeting. Do I have a motion?
so moved.
All in favor? Aye. We do not have any non-agenda items. Do I have a motion to open up early public comment?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak?
Do you want me to ask questions now about the budget, or do you want me to wait?
You can ask, but tonight is just an introduction, so we're not going to go deep into it until our next meeting when we adopt that our finance people will be here, CFO can answer.
Okay, well, I can ask you some questions and you can have answers for me at the next meeting.
Okay.
Linda Huntley, 86 Van Dam. Okay, the first thing I noticed is that we only, for the sale of the land, have only recognized 400,000 of the 4.2 million.
That's the deposit. Which is non-refundable.
Not refundable.
Non-refundable.
Now, when we get to our expenses, Dominic, don't take this personally, but I've noticed that a lot of the salaries have gone up considerably. I mean, the collection of taxes went up from 6,000. Prosecutor went up 3,000. Police went up significantly. I don't know if it's because there's more police. I don't know. That's over 200,000. The road repair went up 30,000, and that's our road repair. But the road repair for Butler only went up like about 10,000. So I don't know if we're encumbering or if we're getting expenses from them because of overtime or whatever that's causing us to have more expenses from that shared service agreement.
Well, I don't believe we don't do any road repairs at all.
Well, we do the garbage and trash removal,
We do.
and that was a significant increase for us, more so than for them. The construction official, it was kind of weird. At one point, one place it went up, another place it went, one place went down, the other place it went up. I don't know why that happened. I don't know how that was set up. Right now. But the biggest issue we've got is our debt. Our municipal debt service this year is got almost $200,000 more, which is a hell of a lot of money, and that's what's really hurting us a lot.
That is hurting us. Like you brought up, that all our money, we need to curb it, and we all agree with that. And only major projects we have coming up for the future that's already been approved is Elm and Ann Street. That is the next major project. I don't think there's, and we have a grant for Hillside and Cook Court, which is just paving, so we got a DOT grant for that, so that will cover that. But we all in agreement that our debt needs to be taken care of. We're not borrowing any money that is not really planned for. There's no plans on doing any major projects in the near future.
Well,
We
there's
do
a-
have, and Mike and I were talking tonight, we do have a severe issue with the Bailey Brook. I think it's called Bailey Brook, which is on Star Lake Road and Bailey Ave. That is collapsing somebody's backyard, which we will have to take care of, but we own the property. Because many, many years ago, instead of using a real pipe, they used oil
I
tanks.
know that.
All right, and then, after investigation, they're 42 inches, Mike, about 42 inches in diameter. And it goes about 100 feet from where we repaired part of the culvert, several years back to, I know it as a Capuzio house, the stone house on the corner of Catherine Street. And there's a 6-inch pipe that goes into a 42-inch pipe, but the whole, long story short, that whole top of that culvert is collapsing. As a matter of fact, I received a letter
Didn't
today.
that property, that collapsed before, I think, and we fixed it.
We
Band-Aided it.
Yeah, just to get by, but right now it's gotta be fixed. I mean, the lady has, she has a shed on it, but she's going to remove the shed and take it down, not put it back. But I got a letter from her today, this has been going on since 2012. So that is a project through our stormwater management that we're looking into to take care of that. We also still have some more work to do down on Chestnut Street. Chestnut Street is working pretty well, but we think we need to do a little bit more work to make it complete.
Also, I'm concerned about, we have more leases going up, and we've got like over $300,000 in lease payments. That's a lot of money. That add on to the debt, I mean, that's a lot.
I'd have to look at what the $300,000 is for, that's what we do.
All of it, you just go to,
It's all the vehicles over the last.
Just the vehicles that we're borrowing, we're not borrowing 30-year bonds anymore. On it, we're not borrowing money long period of time, like we said several years back since I've been sitting here, is that we're doing a lease program, so we don't buy a police car and have to replace it in 10 years and pay for it in 30 years.
like, I understand not
And
doing it
doing
for
all
debt
that,
purposes,
so-
but you're still borrowing and it's still debt, that's, I
Yeah.
mean, that, yeah, and that's what we've already
But
got,
that's
that's a lot.
part of business.
And the biggest issue I've got is that our taxes for the municipality are going up more in the school and more in the county. And that's,
Well, we've lost state funding. In $200,000.
Yep, well, it's everything she mentioned, it's.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a combination of everything, but we did lose state funding of $100,000. Going back when, I hate to go back to COVID, but we were issued money for COVID that we were allowed to use towards our budget over a time period. Well, that money's gone, we're past the time period, we've been using that to help offset those costs. But in the meantime, when you, as you know, is when you put that money into your budget to use it, the next year you have to come up with the same amount of money, even though you don't have it. So it's, this is a tough year going with our taxes. But over a period of time, the last 13, 14 years that I looked at today before I came down here, the average is probably approximately about $30 a year that we've gone up over time on the municipal side.
well, mine is going up
School
this
went up, I
year,
think.
almost 300, so that's just for the municipality.
Mhm.
That's not good, I mean, I'm on senior free, so it doesn't really affect me, but that's not the point. The point is, me being the accountant that I am has to say, this is not right. I mean, it's not personally gonna affect me, it's gonna affect a lot of people, and it just shouldn't be done. There's gotta be some way,
So I guess you'll agree with me that we need more revenue coming in to offset our,
or maybe we need to curb expenses.
well, we're in agreement
We
there.
cut expenses, if you look at OE lines, they all went down by 5%. The budget, we cut those
They may have cut it.
from last year's.
Well, but if I look at the budget, there's a lot of items that have gone up,
Well, things that we can't control,
salaries.
so we can control salaries. But no, we did, because we made contracts and we made commitments to the free.
But you also have to realize on
Your free benefits.
the contracts that we've done over the 5-year period that they're alive for, every year the increases are going down. Right, we started at, I'll use at least 3.5. By the time that contract's over, we're back to 2. So we kind of spread that over a 5-year period, give them more now and less later. But also in those contracts, for all the contracts, everybody went from, the police went from tier 2 to tier 3, so the whole borough now is on tier 3. We're on an even playing field, so they're paying more for their health insurance, even though our health insurance went up 16%, which is horrible, and I think I don't want to put Charlie on the spot, but their health course, because they're in state plan, Charlie, right, if you don't mind me saying, went up 22%. So we're not as high as that, but we got a huge increase of 16%. In past years, it's been single digits. And next year, for what we're told, it's going to go up again in double digits.
State's
For
definitely
our health
double
insurance.
digits.
State,
We'll definitely.
they'll probably go up, so we have to start planning for next year. And yes, I agree with you that our debt is too high. It needs to come down. It needs to come down. And that is, I think, the focus that we talked about in the budget committee and through the council, is we have to be, start to slow down on our projects, do what's essential to be done, apply for as many grants as possible to offset our expenses when it comes to projects. So the DOT grant, we just got awarded another CBG grant today for $62,000 to do ADA ramps in certain areas of town. That got approved today, but that we're only going to do what, as far as the grant goes. In years past, you get the grant, and you can't include engineering fees on that, but you have to use an engineer. That's the law, which is baffles my mind that I can't take $62,000 and give it to a local guy who knows how to do it and get it done. But the rules are rules. But otherwise, we have to spend the 62 plus the engineering fees. So I'm in agreement with it. I'm in agreement.
It doesn't change it.
Well, it's going to have to change it.
Something has to be done because there's a lot of people who are not going to be able to do this, and your tax collection rate may be high now, but it's going to be affected by this because a lot of people are hurting.
I don't know that for a fact, but I'm one of them, all right? I'm on a retired income, as you can say. I don't make, and it's going to affect me. It's affecting everybody sitting here, everybody that's in the audience. We're all sharing, but we need more revenue coming in to offset our expenses. And this goes back from when you were here.
But it's always been the case, and then unfortunately, people that were here at other times felt that borrowing was the answer to everything, and that's come back to bite us. And that's where I think the problem is right now, is that we've done that, and we've done it consistently, and now.
But I think you also have to look at what we have accomplished in town of projects to make our town look better. I mean, all the road projects that we've done, our infrastructure that we fixed by doing the sewer lines and the water lines, things that there's another thing that we have to do because of lead piping. And, that's also an expense, obviously, on the water side, but this is all mandatory stuff that we have to do, they're forced us to do.
There are mandatory things, there are also a lot of.
But they're also mandatory, water is expensive. I mean, paving and curbing,
There's also
in
things
comparison,
that we're not necessarily mandatory.
I don't know which one you're talking about, though.
There's some things that were done, I want to look back at my notes. There are a number of things that have been done that probably should have been done, or should have been done at a slower pace to have been able to afford it without borrowing, having been borrowing.
Okay. Anyone else? We're ready to answer the question.
These are agenda, budget related, and when we answer them, I felt I asked them now, come August 19th, should be able to have answers. The resolution states that the borough is using bank cap, so that the annual increase can be 3.5%, the 1% over the 2.5% statutory. Is that correct?
That is what the resolution says. That is correct.
Okay, so that my interpretation is correct. Thank you. So now the third quarter estimate rate is a 7.16% increase from the municipal budget. Do you have an estimate for the fourth quarter yet?
We do not.
Will we get that August 19th?
That would be the adopted budget, then it'll be back into. So whatever the adopted budget is, then we'll back into what's the fourth quarter.
Okay, at this point, if you're targeting at 3.5%, you already got 4% built into this quarter. The fourth quarter's got to be close to it to get to 3.5.
Okay.
Unless my math is right. Well, that's not like everyone else in this town, we plan for what we pay. And getting a 4% increase in one quarter is not what most people plan for. So I think there needs to be better communication and transparency as to when these things roll out. That's my recommendation. Regarding the debt service of 1.3 million, which increased 17%, are the bonds fixed or they variable rate?
They're
They're fixed
The
rate.
notes aren't, but when you roll over into
Permanent bond.
debt, it's a bond, it's fixed.
So the 1.3 million, is that fixed, is it a combination?
It's combination.
It's a combination, so that's why you had that 17% increase in debt service from year to year, or did we incur more debt?
Well, no, once we set the debt payments, this year's debt payment was higher than last year's. So, but that's the way we chose it, because there was revenue coming in to offset it. Our biggest expense increases were things that we can't control, like pension allocations, insurance cost increases, and loss of federal money. You guys felt it in your bed, we're feeling it as well, on this side.
All right.
And Charles, I get that 200 is a lot, and I'm feeling it myself, especially with the school and the county. You add it all up, it's a lot of money, right? But this level of increase, about $200, what's the norm before John and I even got here?
I can't speak
That
to
was
that.
about the norm,
I
right?
mean-
I know we've done a great job of keeping it on $30, what the mayor was saying, over the last 14 years. So we kind of got used to that, right? But this is actually around the normal level, and that last 14 years has really been fantastic for all of us, which has really saved us, if you add it all up, close to $10,000 on an average month.
I got one more question, and then I'll respond to that. What portion of the M&T revenue will go to reducing the debt load or debt service?
The M&T revenue that we have coming in right now is deposit. If there's 400,000 coming in from the M&T for the property
The
sale.
6.7 million, what portion of that will go to
It's
the?
4.7, it's 4.7, not 4.2. And then there's, if the whole project is built the way it is, we're talking probably,
I'm looking more near term, if you got money coming in near term, like 4.7, what portion of that will go to debt service?
well, once we get to that point and we have that money come in, then the budget committee with civil finance decides where that money's gonna go.
It's not coming in one lump sum, it comes in over a 7-year process. It's
Well,
different-
4.7
there's
spread
different
over 7
phases
years?
that they have to
Spread
take.
over the time
And
until
we
the
get a certain
project
amount.
is partially built, then we can start charging them taxes.
Okay, I'm just looking at the upfront money that they're getting from the
There's a
sale
whole
of
process
property.
going with that. And I'll just explain it. We have deposit money that's in the budget for this year, that's non-refundable money. Okay? And then when the project goes and once we get to a closing, we get X amount. Once we get to government approvals, which is our planning board approvals and DEP approvals, we get X amount. So it's over a time period. So over the time period when that money comes in, then we'll have to decide, hopefully before the money comes in, we'll know where it's gonna be at, and set how that money's gonna be appropriated, either go into offset taxes or pay your debt service down. That will be a decision that has to be made by this government body or whoever it's in.
I recommend that it goes to offset debt service, because in that way, you're offsetting the taxes. Because right now, I'm paying for the debt service, but if you get rid of the debt service, you reduce it by taxes. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I keep asking that question. You made a comment about that you may have to slow down borough projects based on current circumstances. I would recommend you do that, and you may have to, maybe, I hate to use the word severely slow them down, but you definitely slow them down.
Like I said before, we have one major project coming up.
You do what you gotta do, but everything else may have to be
We agree.
pushed back. Okay. I already mentioned visibility, and Ray, you're right. You guys have done a job, I think the school's done their job. We've been trying to be transparent, I think that's important. We continue to be transparent to the public as to what they're gonna get. The public right now is a little confused. This increase, was it the referendum? We're trying to make it clear, no, it's not the referendum. This increase right now
Ask
is
the same question, I gave the same answer.
right, understand.
We haven't got that yet.
So I think that's where we need to get that our communication, letting people know this is the situation. You could have got to 2.5% over the last whatever number of years it was, but you didn't. And that's how you create your bank capital, so correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess think that through going forward. We'd be better off at 2.5, year on year on year, because I think that would hurt a lot less than what we're experiencing right now.
Well, I agree with that, and to be honest with you, if we would have raised taxes more back then, it would be an easier hit now, but we kept taxes low back then as much as possible. Some years we came in at 0, which everybody thought that
The
was.
school district too, but you
No.
gotta be careful about that because,
I don't know if you ever came in at 0.
no, we did. It's in your records. And that year, the public saw 1 and 1. Because our fiscal cycle is different than your fiscal cycle. That's what we had a 1 and 1 in those years, because we had 0. But my point is, I think we need to have better transparency, better planning. If you need to go 2.5, I would support it, because it really hurts when you get a 4% in one quarter. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? See no one, the motion to close?
We have some.
Yeah, so I just want
This is to agenda items? Come on,
yeah, just an open kind of question or
Sure.
comment. So we live, sorry, I just need
need your name and your address.
Aaron Essner, 30 Wheeler Ave, right here in town. Something that I'm sure everyone here in town is aware of and sees all the time is, so I've been here at that address since 1996. And over time, wildlife has returned to the area, which has been great to see and experience. So in the neighborhood these days, we have foxes, black bear, and deer, which is really the point that I just wanted to share. There is now a resident herd of deer living in the neighborhood that never leaves. They don't go off into the woods up by Star Lake or any of that. They stay and reside in between houses, and there's deer that head down in my backyard. And it's becoming a problem. There's, by my last count, somewhere around 15 deer in this herd that kind of moves around between houses all the time.
Who's feeding them?
They're eating everyone's plants. So I plant flowers. Former mayor Ann Green had even sent me a letter, acknowledging, being part of town beautification and all this stuff. I take pride in it. It's becoming untenable to keep the deer off of it. We spray stuff to keep them away, and it just, I don't know that there's anything that the town can do, but I just wanted to make you aware and see, is there any solution that can be enacted? I mean, just last week, together, like on one piece of property, I saw 6 fawns. So that herd is now gonna be up over 20. With ticks and all this stuff, there's waste left on people's lawns. Like, I don't know if there's anything that can be done about it, but
I don't have an answer for that. I live on Bailey, it's kind of below you, and obviously the camp's up there, they come through there. I've got black bear. I have a deer that sits under the cantilever in my house and eats all my hostas. All right? My wife don't like the hostas, she's kind of bothered about but we have 5 or 6 raised my neighbor that just come out of the end of Bailey Ave. I'll call it out like felt that I go by. I'm running out of the woods here, and there's a buffer between there and Sally Street that they hang out in. And at night the herd comes down, they go down our street, and I watch them. They go right down North Hamburg Turnpike and down to the river, and then they come back in the morning, and that's their, I think it's great wildlife is coming back. I mean, I've seen fox, I've seen coyotes. Gotta be careful around there. I don't have an answer for you of what can be done, if anything.
yeah, I mean, I know that other towns and other regions have taken steps like performing actions to sterilize the local deer population to prevent them from continuing to breed, but season after season, that number is getting bigger and bigger.
We're getting over anything I know about. Maybe our animal control person might have a recommendation. We can certainly talk to her. I just don't have an answer for you about what we can do about her here.
Yeah, but I can say I totally share your frustration as an avid gardener to see all my hard work get eaten up like that, right, overnight. So I noticed that too. Even when I first moved into where I'm living now, maybe 10, 12 years ago, I'd see 60-year design that they own the place in my backyard. Right, so you're right, they're all over the place. They definitely need all of our hard work. You said maybe animal control, see if they have anything. Maybe a nice idea, Dominic, too, to bring up environmental commission if they have any thoughts on it.
I think the other thing that we could possibly do is talk to Lisa and maybe do some education on to residents about not feeding. My neighbor fed deer, and we had them every day, and it was getting larger and larger, and there's at times we had 20. But since they have moved, I don't get as many. So maybe that is something that we could talk, and we can certainly put things out on social media and on the website about the pros of eating deer. But we can talk to Lisa about
Lisa
that.
might have some suggestions of what to do, so we contacted her with the beaver issue that we have over on Oakwood, and she helped us out there. Now Dominic and the environmental are working on a cage system, so the beaver can't get to the dam and block the dam. It's not prevent. So we are looking at stuff like that. We have to talk to animal control. I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, again, I just wanted to.
I appreciate it.
Raise it as an issue. We just did a block event this past weekend, and all my neighbors are having the same issues, the same frustrations.
I know it's not just a Bloomingdale problem, it's a statewide issue. You need to be involved with the British Sportsman Federation and the Outdoor Alliance, and they're constantly looking at ways to address the issue via conservation, right? In statewide policy for how to hunt, appropriately manage populations elsewhere, so they have better places to combat this. But I don't know that, as far as just what our easiest
I don't want
solutions-
to, whether you're a hunter or not, I just know a friend of mine is, but there's not as many people doing it anymore. And years ago, up where you live, you used to be able to hunt starlight camp. I mean, going back years ago, and then, the camp wasn't active during the summer like it is today. You used to be able to go hunt season, you used to go to there, you wind up going up to one side of Camping Lake, up to Mockingbird Road, and whole way, but I don't have an answer.
Conservation controlling is a pretty widely known practice, but it's just not easily accessible given the population density we have now. So I don't know what our solution is, but I can talk to the environmental commission and here's some great ideas, and then kind of report back.
I just think they don't have any fear anymore. They know where they can go eat, nobody bothers them.
So one of our workers at Winwell Gardens suggested that I do fireworks at home.
Yeah, no.
You're the guy doing that, I get complaints about it all the week.
So.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Seeing no one, a motion to close?
Second.
Report of committees, all in favor? Report of committee.
Mayor, for the driver first aid squad, for June, their number was 154 calls, and they have 966 calls year to date. 49 were paid, 105 were covered, 85%. They worked at 85%. Butler had 56 calls. Bloomingdale had 55, Kinnamon had 30. They have a lot of new younger members volunteering and taking up time. They're probies, they have a lot of them. They have a big, on August 8th, Mike's Poker Tables. This is going to be hopefully a big fundraiser for them. It's at St. Anthony's. It's a $5,000 prize pool. They each at least get, if they get the 75 players, it's $100 to buy in, with $5,000 chips. They have rebuys and add-ons, and there's going to be pizza, a long sub, cookies, drinks, and this is all you can prepay through Venmo, and the doors open at 6. It's August 8th, starts at 7 at 51 Morse Ave in Butler, which is the St. Anthony's. And as always, they always offer, if anybody's interested to be a volunteer, they're still accepting applications.
I think 51 more south of the building. St. Anthony's.
Oh,
St. Anthony's
that's-
off West Side.
So the event is at time and location, 51 Morse Ave in Butler. That's
Yeah,
one of the.
that's the building.
That's the building. Next for the library, they had to postpone the pocketbook bingo. They might move the event to February. Their Queen's Tea will be in September, Julie Pianos on the 17th. This year, patrons, last year they had, year-to-date, patron visits, they had 394. This year, year-to-date, they've had 624. Tomorrow, last week, they had a Zootopia on Thursday, where they had a lot of animals visit. The firehouse, also at the library here, it's going to be held tomorrow. There is a speaker from, her name is Rosemary Urbanetti Capiello. She is a speaker, she speaks with spirit. She's going to do a presentation. It's free, you just have to register online. It's here at Council Chambers at 7 p.m.
That's on, that week, that's Thursday.
That's July 17th, which is Thursday, yes, here in Council Chambers. They also have,
Is that part of the
What is?
actually, it says
That
Council
says council
Chambers.
chambers. It got changed, because I
Oh.
was attending, and I got an email last week saying that they actually moved it in this space, they
Okay.
moved it to.
Okay, perfect. We still have that.
They still don't be.
Because there's like 80 signups for that.
Well, that's not good. That's a great one.
Next is, we do have a date for the Julie Pianos, which is October 17th. At the event, once again at the Glenwilds Center. And as always, Ally runs a lot of different programs. You can go online and check out their book clubs. And they have a book club this year, and their Stephen King book club as well. And then for the senior center, the senior center has their monthly July calendar for their events up online, where you could do the care and yoga every day. The nutrition center, they have their calendar set up. Also on Thursday, they're going to senior dinner at Loprizzi's, which is a open bar and 3-course meal. That's leaving at 11:30 a.m. on Thursday. They also have on July 25th a day trip to a Yuma farm. All these are, you can sign up for these things at the senior center or contact Pat Yancy. And they do like you to register ahead of time for these events.
Next, a few things. Triborough Little League, they had their closing ceremonies on June 29th. We congratulate them on another successful, and it was a fun season for all that were involved. A reminder for Stone Park Festival, so it was moved to August 16th from 3 to 9 at Stone Park. They'll be shutting down a portion of Main Street from Reed over to Leary. So be on the lookout for that, and please join if you're around. It's always a good time. And then on the economic development front, we do have a new store that's open. It's a countertop store. They're not quite ready yet, but we do envision having a grand opening for them. Walking.
And another business took over where we get press.
Yes, right. We haven't had a chance to reach out to them now.
Yes.
That's what it's all.
You see that. That's it.
Again, a few things, public events. First, I wanted to say for the July 4th fireworks, I wanted to thank EB for all her help getting the food vendors. I wanted to do a special thank you to our DPW. Their help is always tremendous. Our police, fire, and Triborough First Aid Squad, so thank you to everyone. Wednesday, July 16th, tomorrow night, concert in the park, sponsored by Bloomingdale Borough at 7 p.m. Sloan Park. Saturday, August 2nd, we have river cleanup, that's 10 a.m. Sloan Park, that's the Environmental Commission. Wednesday, August 13th, another concert in the park, 7 p.m. at Sloan. That's it for public events. I also did want to send or really notice a number of organizations from yesterday. I mean, as everybody is aware, we had a lot of flooding yesterday. Our fire department was tremendous. They also had a lightning strike in town, so their response was immediate and great. Our DPW was right out there, and our police. So as always, every time we have a flooding event or we have a major incident in town, everybody works together, and it's great. So another thing, Butler had a water main break. And one of the things that came up is that we do have some residents in Bloomingdale, mostly like lower Macmillan area, that are on strictly Butler water. It's not Bloomingdale, it's Butler water. So for those residents, if you want to sign up for Butler's Nixle emergency notification system, that would be awfully helpful for anyone that's on Butler water, and really for Bloomingdale residents as well. So if there's ever a problem, you'll get a Nixle alert. If you need to know how to sign up, just go to Butler's website, and it's on their main page at the bottom. Board of Health. They had a meeting on Monday. They introduced an ordinance, which would be regulation of electronic smoke devices and psychoactive products. If you have any questions on that, you can contact Mary Catalano. She's the vice president, and she's most familiar with that. Rave sign up, as I mention at every single council meeting, our emergency notification system for Bloomingdale is Rave. You can sign up, it's on our home page. Go to the bottom right hand side, it'll say Rave, click on that, and it'll take me through the steps of signing up. Lastly, I got a request from Mark Redfield, so everyone would, if you saw it on social media or the website, regarding dog waste. We have been asked to mention that to residents. That is, please keep your dog on a leash. Do not walk your dog in other people's yards. Dog waste when not picked up is an environmental concern, so please pick up your dog waste. And after you've picked it up, do not put it in your neighbor's garbage, put it in your own. That was the messages that I've asked to be passed on, so I've been passing them on. We did put something out on social media that I made today, and but Mark Redfield, as I've said a million times, he does an absolutely fantastic job with our residents, and I love him.
He does a great job.
He does. He's really wonderful. And for those people who don't know who Mark Redfield is, he is our property maintenance officer, and he really does a fantastic job. He's wonderful with our seniors. When any senior has an issue, he really works with them, and I love that about him. So,
if I may just build off of that, because it has to do with Mark. So Mark Redfield, the EDC, as well as a little bit Mr. Sondermeyer over there, and the DPW did a lot of work, and we completed all of our new entranceway signs. So you'll see them up throughout town. We've been working on that for the better part of the year. And the last one just went up very recently. What's that? Yes, that's the most important part. So all of our small businesses in town, many of them offered to sponsor the sign. So you'll see their names underneath that, and we really want to thank them for it. That we'll do some more recognition of that, especially through the EDC, to thank them for their efforts to help beautify our town for their new welcome song.
That's it.
Nothing new tonight.
Dave?
Nothing, Mayor.
Dominic?
Sorry.
Councilwoman Hudson touched on the Stone Park concert tomorrow already at 7, and everything up, so we're good. We'll have more reports back from environmental, and we discuss some of the topics.
Two things, a couple of us attended the county commissioner meeting before this meeting tonight at the town college. They're going to put together some, I guess, discussion platform to talk about the horse farm with the residents and the governing body, what we'd like to see there. And the other thing that they voted yes to was the reappropriation of the funds that are left over at the old common park to buy those things we talked about. We would finish up that park. Good stuff.
That was unanimous, thank you, wasn't it?
Good to see you there.
Just for me, just to back up what Mike said, he went down to, like he said, he went down to the college. And for those who are not familiar with the horse farm that's on Union Avenue, they are going to create a county park, but they really want the input of the residents of what they want to see there. Now, of course, everybody has a grand idea of what they want, so they're just going to put it all together and see how it works best and fits there. And that project is actually starting. But there's some remediation that has to be done there, which is being done. There's some other work that they need to be done before they actually do the build. But they're gonna have the input of us and our residents, and also want to do a population, because we are the surrounding towns around that. But my part is, it's in Bloomingdale, so we should have a real say of what goes there. So that's, if you're familiar with the horse farm, and I went down and spoke a little bit, and I said, going back when I was a lot younger, that was a very active farm, horse farm back then, where they did shows and all kinds of stuff in there. And then there was a tragic event with their arena that was a canvas arena, and it collapsed. And there was, tragically, they lost a bunch of horses, and that was when it depleted itself and never really came back to what it was. So we're going to get a county park, and as I said down there, if you visit any of the county parks, Mayor Dunleavy Park, Memorial Park, where the dog park is used a lot. The county built that for us. It's maintained by them. They do a really good job. Karen Mountain, if you ever visit up there, there's all kinds of trails and walking paths and playgrounds and fields, and they have concerts up there. Rifle Camp Park just put a brand new amphitheater, and the college just put a new observatory on top. That is part of the college, which you can go to see the New York skyline. It's a beautiful building. So they make a large investment in parks and recreation for our residents in the entire county. But this is a situation where up county is going to get something. Normally everything was down county, and they got all the big parks and all that. They are investing in up county. They just built a huge playground in West Milford. They got the Green Acres grant that we got, and they contributed to this, and they built $1 million park in West Milford. They helped us for our Bow Pond Park over there, our Bow Pond Park over there, so we can have a beautiful park there, which is being used a lot, which is great. They're doing a rail trail. If you go down on Union Ave by the Celtic Knot, there's a path there that they redid. That's going to be a walking trail, biking trail that they're trying to do throughout the county. So they're doing a lot. I think it's great.
There's some blasting near there that's going on, like kind of near the Taco Bell. Is that part of that, or is that something?
No, that's not part of that. The blasting that's going on there sporadically, if you go behind the Burger King, Tilcon's entrance is going to be there. Okay, they're closing down the Ponta Lakes entrance, if you're familiar with that. That's in a residential area. They're closing that off, and then they're going to use that side to come in and out, so they got a residential area. They haven't started blasting it yet. They just put trees down. You see that one by the Taco Bell in the back? There's going to be a warehouse up there. They cleared the property, but I don't believe there's been any blasting going on there yet. But I know they are slowly coming down the mountain. If you look, you can almost see the road that goes up and down. It's going to be a 4-lane road, 2 coming down, 2 going up. Matter of fact, they're coming before us to put a new wash plant in, so when trucks come out, they're clean, so they don't all that stuff. And a weigh station, which will be on their property. So that's what you're seeing there. I don't know how soon that's gonna be done. I think within the next year or so, they'll probably have that complete. Mike and I attended, an open house at Tilcon, which was open to everybody that wanted to go there. It's quite an operation inside there, the trucks that they use. It's basically just an open house to the residents who want to go to see what they do, which was really interesting to me, of everything that's up there. You see some of it from 287, but you're not seeing all of it. It's important. The other thing I want to mention that, I don't know if everybody knows, you all students should receive an email. I just wanted to mention that John Patuch, longtime resident, 15-year Board of Ed member, and Joanne, his wife, was a former councilwoman up here. He recently passed away, so I just want to recognize him, and our condolences go out to the Patuch family in their time of sorrow. But they are two good people. I know Joanne well, and I knew her husband fairly well. They were friends with my sister and brother-in-law. Their kids all went to school together. And her son-in-law just retired, a school teacher and the Parker High School baseball coach. So our condolences go out to the family. That's pretty much it. Right? Okay. Item number 9, resolution number 2025, 7.1, consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
Any questions?
Just one point for item B. I'd like to thank Lisa Colda, who's a longtime EDC member, going back to really when we resurrected it back in 2014, 2015 time. She was not even before that. She's been an outstanding contributor. She was a driving force behind the business banners that you see on Main Street and many other accomplishments. So she's definitely paid her dues, put in well over a decade of service, and I really want to thank her for everything that she's done.
Also within the rest of item number H, Paul Campanella, who is a 50-year special officer in our town, who decided to step down after 50 years. Just want to thank him for his service to the borough.
We don't know much, so.
Yeah, he did. I wanted to bring him in and recognize him. He said, no, I'm just going to go enjoy myself.
And then East MD too, Hunter Ryan, in this end of DPW, so he got a position as police officer, Martin of Sussex up there, so good luck to him. Yeah.
He was actually working with Parker.
Yeah, he was a really good worker. Yeah.
All right, roll call.
Bronckhurst,
Yes.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Schubert.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Item number 10, pending items. Introduction of ordinance number 19-2025, index rate cap. Do I have a motion to read by title?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance to exceed municipal budget appropriations, limits to establish a cap bank. OJSA 40A:4-45.4.
That will be August. What's the next one? 17? Adoption of resolution number 2025 7.10, introduction of the 2025 municipal budget by title. Do I have a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Just do roll call.
Catalano,
Yes.
Graziano,
Yes.
Hudson. Yes. Schubert.
Yes.
Yazdi.
Yes.
Bronckhurst.
Yes.
Adoption of resolution number 2025 7.11, self-examination of the municipal budget. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Graziano?
Yes.
Hudson? Yes. Schubert?
Yes.
Biagi?
Yes.
Ronkhurst?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Adoption of resolution number 2025 7.12, including reserve for uncollected taxes. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Hudson? Yes. Schubert?
Yes.
Biagi?
Yes.
Ronkhurst?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
New business, adoption of resolution number 2025 7.13, municipal obligation. Do I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions on the bill? Roll call, please.
Schubert?
Yes.
Biagi?
Yes.
Ronkhurst?
Yes.
Catalano?
Yes.
Graziano?
Yes.
Hudson? Yes.
Item B, introduction of ordinance number 20-2025, amended chapter 19, solid waste. Do I have a motion to read by title?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale and the County of Passaic, the State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 19, solid waste management of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
We'll also give that second on the 19th. Item C, introduction of ordinance number 21-2025, amended chapter 2, recreation fees for volleyball. What we do for recreation. Do I have a motion to read?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
An ordinance of the Borough of Bloomingdale and the County of Passaic, the State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 2, administration, section 2-64.11, fees for recreation programs of the Code of the Borough of Bloomingdale.
Just gonna say something for our recreation part. I don't know whether this year we have more programs that are opening up. Seems like every other meeting we're doing in order to add something. I think, Aaron's doing a great job down there with our recreation committee.
Yeah, to expand upon that, I would definitely try and say like, they're putting a lot of effort into opening as many programs as possible. And we encourage as much of the municipality to engage in them. There were some cancellations of some programs lately because of enrollment. We're getting heavy another kind of limit where it needs to be. And I hope that volleyball expands greater. We know with lacrosse, we had a enrollment issue, and then two great toddler programs were canceled, including the Bluey and other dance events that are going to take place. So please take advantage of the rec website, take a look at the programs that are out there. They put a lot of effort and time into that.
And also, speaking to Michael Hudson, we're toying with the idea of a fall co-ed softball league in the fall. We're discussions with that. The umpires won't want it, it works really well. We're talking to them about it. We feel like maybe that could be something, living a life of the moment, whatever, would be interesting to do in the fall in a small program. We'll see. Okay. Have a motion to open late public comment.
So,
All in favor?
Aye.
Members come up. Okay. Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we do have two matters in executive session. There will be no action taken. The contract negotiations and personnel, and one other personnel.
Make a vote.
There will be no action taken afterwards. Our next meeting is August 19th at 7 o'clock. Thank you all.
We should make a motion for the executive
I
session.
will. Have a motion to go in executive.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.